Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, I've got a really exciting video. So PS Vita, to me, has been one of my favorite handhelds. I've done lots of videos on the channel of me with my modded PS Vita. Some of the Vita games are just absolutely fantastic. One thing that has been scarce is the fact of an emulator for PS Vita. As you can see in the screen now, you'll see that I have the RG505, Odin Pro, Retroid Pocket 3 and Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So I wanted to test as many handhelds as possible. I did try the RG552, but sadly it wasn't booting up. I'm not too sure what the issue is there. If there is any change in that, I will let you know. But I love the Vita. I even have games in my collection that they still got the seal on it. I absolutely love it. I play Soul Sacrifice Delta, I think. So the original one I kept in its box. But some of these games are just absolutely fantastic to me, especially some of the Japanese versions that you can't get over here, especially with the patches you can get with the modded PS Vita. There is so many amazing games, really is. So to actually have it now on an Android device is really fantastic. I think it came out or launched at some point this week or last week, which is fantastic. Hasn't been available on Android. I did test it on 3 versions that you see here, but I am going to show you how to install it. Very easy. All can be done on the actual handheld itself, so that is remarkable. So I'll show you the step-by-step process, then go into showing you the performance on the different machines themselves. Really is fantastic news and something that will probably be worked on regularly. As I say, there is another update straight away, so that's 2 versions of Vita3k so far, and I'm sure that over the coming weeks and months it will just get better and better and better. So without further ado, let's test out all the handhelds and see which one is the best. I think you'll be surprised. And also, let's start off with installation. So I'm using the Retroid Pocket 3 for this. This is the only one that I haven't tested it on so far. So we'll do a step-by-step process. First thing that you want to do is go to Chrome. So type in Vita. .3k. Hit enter. This is it here. Click on it. 3-line tab in the top right. Click download. Pick your build. It's for Windows, Mac OS, Linux. I will do a video to see if we can get it on the Steam Deck, guys, so look out for that if you're interested. Hit a like and consider subscribing. I will do a breakdown of loads of games as well, because the listing that you have, if you go up to the top, it has a compatibility list. But when you go on the compatibility list, you'll see a listing there saying there's nothing, bootable, intro, menu, image, and then playable, and then all. So you can just click on playable, but I don't think this list is necessarily catered for Android side. There's games that I've got running that aren't on this list of playable. I will download as many games as possible, maybe the top 30 PS Vita games, and then I'll do an individual video on each one. But it's definitely worth checking out. I would say that you're going to have more success out of the ones that are playable, even though I've chose some of these games and they're not playable, guys. But there's a list there to check and go through anyway. So back to download. So home page, download. I'm going to choose the Android. So it says grab from GitHub. You'll see this was 8 hours ago, so they've done a new update version. Shockingly, the 505 runs better than the Odin Pro. So this one was 9 hours ago now. So we click on the top link. We'll be asked to download it, so we download. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to open. You say install. Let's say done. And then we just simply check open. We then have a menu that says choose our language. So I'm going to do English United Kingdom. Next. You'll see here now that we have to download firmware and download from package. These are pretty easy and straightforward. I've already downloaded them, but you can just go on the internet and do it and then transfer it over to an SD card if you're having trouble. I know with Google Chrome, you're having trouble with the link. So if you go to download firmware, it will take you to the PlayStation Vita store. Accept. And then we simply just download update. So when we click on it, if it doesn't do anything, guys, the best thing to do is keep your finger on it. You'll then have options, and then you can then go to download link, and then you'll be able to download it. So if you are having trouble with it and it's not working, guys, when you tap it, just hold your finger down on it, download link, and you'll be able to download it. The same thing with the previous one. So let me go back. So when you do download from package, it automatically downloads for you, and then you just save it to the relevant files. It is as simple as that, guys. So we're going to go back. So you go install firmware, choose disk, then I'll find where I saved the firmware, so PSVita firmware. We've got PSV update, so we simply just tap on it. It will automatically install. Takes a few moments. If it works successfully, you'll see that it now says a V instead of an X. So we need to install the second version, the front package. So we go install firmware file again. PSP2 update. It'll take a few seconds. Again, press OK, and you'll see that it now says V and V. That's how you know you've successfully done it. Hit next. You can mess around with the size of the grid mode or anything like that. I just left it standard. I haven't really checked out any other versions. And then OK, you've successfully installed. You will have a bit of information on there, so make sure you have a little read of that before you can untick it, and then you don't have to see it again on the next go. So close, create a user, just going to have it as user 1, confirm, tap OK, and then automatically user login and tap user 1. Greeted with the PSP style peeler page, and then we just simply tap on it. We'll have trophy collection, settings, internet browser, and content manager. The file is where you'll use the files. Install the game itself, you can either use a PKG. We've already installed the firmware, or we have zip or VPK. I've only used zip, so there is plenty of little Google searches you can do to find those out. When you go to controls, straight away, make sure you go to overlay and untick show gameplay overlay. That will take the image off the screen, guys, because there's some games where you have the D-pad ring here or the analog stick ring here, and it won't let you select or touch the screen, and some games you can't move forward from that because of that. It's one to keep an eye out. If you go to configuration, there's not really much that you can change. Hit settings. You can't really change much as you go through. You can up resolution, but you can't change the back end from Vulkan to OpenGL at the moment. I'm not too sure if that'll change in the future, but yeah, very basic and limited. You can't update certain things to make sure that it is more optimized with drivers and stuff, so it's not too bad. But as I say, there's no really need to change anything really. So to install the game, you just go to install zip or VPK, select file, go to where you've saved the ROMs, and then we simply just tap on it. It will take a few moments to load. Yeah, I'd love to know if you're excited about this, guys. And if you've already tested it out, let me know what handheld you've been testing it on. I'd love to know. And obviously, if there's any games that you've downloaded already that work fantastically well, pop them in the comments. I'd love to know so I can get them on there myself. So as you can see, it will tell you if it's been successful or not, and then it will appear on the screen itself. So as you can see, now I have Golden Abyss. So if you want to change any settings and you don't want to keep going into the settings, you can configure it specifically per game. You just simply keep your finger on it, and then you'll be listed with a bunch of options. Information, delete, open folder, custom config, copy app info, compatibility, or boot. So that is not too bad. So let's go into some performance. This is the first time I'm testing Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Retroid Pocket 3, but I've had really good luck with the lower end devices than what I have the higher end devices, which is strange. I'm sure it'll change down the line as more optimization goes into the development of Vita3k. We'll be greeted with a screen that looks like reminiscent of a PS Vita, and we tap start. One thing that I have noticed, which I'm not too sure whether this game further down the line will actually work well, is that the touchscreen only seems to have touch at the moment. So it doesn't really have any drag. So if you drag your finger over it, it doesn't produce a line or follow like a snake. It only has the tap function. Now this crashed, guys. I'm not too sure whether this may be not compatible with the Retroid Pocket 3, but we'll see what happens when we tap into it again. No, it doesn't seem to be wanting to play. So let's check out another game. File, zip, select file. Going with Street Fighter X Tekken. Yeah, no editing on this one, guys, just literally a video straight the way through, just so you can see. This is the first time I'm testing it on here. Yeah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work for the first time for myself also. So Uncharted did not load. This is the newer updated version as well. So far, so good. No, it just doesn't seem to want to play at the moment. Okay, so that's a shame. So I'll have to work on that a little bit more, guys. Let me know if your Retroid Pocket 3 is working on your side. But let's move on to the RG505. So here we have the RG505. Let's go with some Uncharted. As you can see, the waterfall is glitching out there a little bit. It should be a lot lower, going right the way down. But still, it runs really well on the RG505. Not perfect, guys, but enough to play through anyway.
I got a report that shots were fired by the river.
There is noticeable sound glitches as well, but it's to be expected. It's only about a week old. Something to keep an eye on, but really exciting times for PS Vita fans on Android handhelds, or Android devices themselves. But it's nice and smooth. There will be a lot of shader cache as well. You'll see it pop up in the bottom left hand corner. And as I say, with the touch you can use touch, but on a PS Vita you can scroll your finger down and you'll see that you can like mask it down to go down, but it doesn't allow you to do that. So if you tap on the place where you want to go, it will allow you to do it, but only through tapping. So I know there's loads of games where you have to scribble and it uses the follow function of pressing on the device itself. So this might be an issue later down the line, or on some games itself. See, I should be able to leap over, but it won't let me. But you can jump. But then if I now use the tap function, you'll see that it highlights it. So it works, but it's not perfect.
Drake's been spotted in the upper chamber. Kill him on sight. Dante's orders. Dante's mercenaries. Bastards.
So as you can see, the sound glitches are a bit annoying, but it's early days, but it's still a welcome surprise to play on here. Okay, let's check out some other games. So you need to step up, go back, and there's a little exit button here. You press it and it will take you away from the game. Let's go with Street Fighter X versus Tekken. Again, some graphical glitches, like some of the special effects don't work, bit of choppiness in the sound, but relatively smooth gameplay.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
This is not the updated version as well, guys. Maybe that's why it wasn't working on the Retroid Pocket 3 at the start. Maybe that build is not compatible. As you can see on the right hand, there is graphical glitches all over the place. The sound is a little bit distorted. I did use the DLC version, so as you can see I have all the extra characters straight away, like Pac-Man. So as you can see, the Hadoukens can't come out. The flames are missing. Not landing the special moves out there, was I? But yeah, running okay, definitely playable. If they sort out the sound, then that would be absolutely fantastic. Be really, really playable. But still, to see Street Fighter Tekken playing on a handheld, it's unreal. Still a really good experience on this, guys. Okay, I did try the likes of Gravity Rush, but I was unsuccessful with that as well, guys. So there is a few games that unfortunately it literally are not going to work, but then it's just a case of trial and error. Let's check out some Dragon Quest builders. As I say, it looks really nice. I think I do have the screen brightness quite down on here, guys. Let's see if we can. Yeah, Dragon Quest builders, so the amount of hours you can put into this game is unreal. So it's great to have this on a Anbernic device. I couldn't get Steam World Dig, even though it says that it could. I couldn't get Soul Sacrifice Delta to run properly. Unfortunately, it crashed on Senran Kagura Bon Appetit. Rogue Legacy didn't work. Gravity Rush just gets to the main menu, then crashes. So I think Demon Gaze 1 and 2 worked fine. Criminal Girls 2 worked fine. Shovel Knight runs really well. Yeah, so really happy with it so far, guys. Okay, let's test it on the Odin Pro. So let's check out some Dragon Quest builders on the Odin Pro. As good. And there's more graphical glitches, I don't know if you can see that, compared to the RG505. It's just not running very well on here. It just runs like a piece of shit, really, unfortunately. So whether that's something to do with more development needed, or maybe for specific handhelds, or again, it may just be a driver issue and you have to install drivers. I will look into this, guys, and do another video of any updates to get it running as good as possible, really, because obviously you'd think and expect that a more powerful chip would run it 10 times better, but it's just not the case at the moment. But it may just be a driver issue. And as you'll see, that this is using the same emulator and the same games that I have, but this time on this system, that the menu is not all glitched out like the 505. But again, you'll see it just runs a lot slower. Again, maybe due to drivers. But I know Taki did a video on the Android handhelds, and he also stated, I believe, that the lower end phone chipset worked better than the new versions with the updated CPU and GPUs. So it is a very strange one, guys. But again, still has graphical glitches and also sound issues through virtually every game that I've played. Okay, let's check out some Retroid Pocket 3 Plus performance, like the 505. It's a lot better than the Odin Pro.
Shots were fired by the river.
It was nothing.
I'm telling you, it was Drake. You tell your men to up their game, or there's gonna be a lot less of them around come payday.
Son of a bitch. I'll see you in hell.
Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. A like would be fantastic if you want to see lots more on the Vita3k. Any updates I will do videos on. I will also do and hopefully get about 30 games to test out. Hopefully all working and fine, and should do a showcase video. I'll actually do a showcase on each handheld as well, showing you the performance on each one as well, with a good list of games. I'm really excited. I can't wait for the future development of this. I think hopefully we'll get to a stage maybe in a year's time where we've got really smooth PS Vita games. I'm excited. Love to know if you think. I say guys, what have you tested? What are you playing? What system are you playing it on? And as always, take care.